The college basketball experience preview and picks episode for Thursday, November 7th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up, and when you do, sign up with that promo code TCE SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hop on over there. Once again, UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football, college basketball, and the NFL with Rhythm. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
What's up, everybody? This is Cameron Krog from Loyola Chicago Ramblers, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride. Shout out to the Broad Stop. Thank you, guys.
Welcome to the college basketball experience preview and picks episode for Thursday, November 7th. And, you know, get yourself a little beverage. All right. Get yourself a little beverage because you're going to want a little beverage. Hopefully, if you tell us last night, the beverages have been already paid for because we had a little, did someone call the fire department on us, folks? I think they may have. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, well, that's fair. My name is Colby Swing, database dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
It took a couple days to get her warmed up, but we're home. We're home. I'm excited. Can't wait to talk shit to all you. I'll be honest. It's fun. Love talking shit. Appreciate you. They say life's a beach. Shout out to my mom's coffee cup collection. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the Big 12 College Experience, also the host of the Ryan and Rush Show, which you should be subscribed to both. Give it up for former video coordinator for Hall of Fame coach Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Money Lon Mac. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Red hot tonight, 10-3 with 2 to go. The San Diegos. I think the only thing that's just as hot as us is the stock market. That's about it. Other than that, we're on top of the world. Let's go.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
We are also
Mac
joined by...
has been feeling over the moon the last couple of days.
Hey, man, I like money in my pocket, baby. What can I say?
We're also joined by a third man in the booth. He likes the keys to the LeBaron in his pocket at all times, all right? Give it up for the host of the College Baseball Experience, the smooth talking, half-step walking, all right? Noah Bieniek, how are you, brother?
What's going on? Feeling much better today. Almost a 6-0 day for me, guys, but Western Illinois never really competed in that game. So 5-1, but feeling hot. The pregame show was rolling too, giving out great angles left and right. They were even shitting on me for not backing my national champion pick. That made me feel like a genius today, even though I didn't take him. But let's start this thing. Let's go.
Oh, we can start things.
You're gonna take me 5 feet down in a second after I didn't allow you to put this team into a money line parlay.
Yeah, I am. Thank you. You got ahead of it, buddy. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
He's learning the ways. Let's take a little trip to the hospital. All right, where I told you they were live to win on the money line. All right,
I took the points, but I didn't think they would actually pull this thing off.
As someone that's been to Morgan State basketball games, I knew there was a chance at this. Especially, I felt like Morgan State was like kind of a senior-ridden team a year ago. This year, they're young. They're young, and Mercyhurst new to D1 10-point dogs. Well, I'll be the first to tell you, I struggled the first 2 nights, but we came home here. All right. Mercyhurst cashes 78-73. Aiden Reichert, 15 points, 6 boards. He was wet. They had no answer for him.
I'm surprised that's the name that Colby picked out to say.
Well, just one of the ones that came to my mind when watching that.
The chat in the pregame show couldn't stop talking about Bernie Blunt on Mercyhurst.
First off,
he's Bernie Blunt the third, by the way.
Some know me now as Cap Bozo, right? That's the new pick Dundee name, Cap Bozo, also, who that's a play on the former tight end for the Chicago Bears in the 80s. But Bernie Blunt is a great name. It's a great name. I hope he's really nasty because, a lot of people don't realize this, but Busta Rhymes, the artist Busta Rhymes from Leaders of the New School and just a fantastic MC, he is named after an Oklahoma quarterback in the 80s, Buster Rhymes, that played for Barry Switzer. So I have long said that Tree Rollins, who was a center in the NBA for the Atlanta Hawks and a slew of other teams, I've still been waiting for a rapper to have the name Tree Rollins or Tree Rollins. Either one works. Or Cap Bozo. But since I'm now Cap Bozo, for years I was claiming, why is no one Cap Bozo? I'm just taking it. I'm stealing it from my own imagination. And it is so now Pick Dundee, aka Cap Bozo. I'm officially stealing that name, but Bernie Blunt is in similar fashion.
5'11", 180-pound senior guard went 10 for 10 from the free throw line today. 12 points.
Boom. Don't fuck with Bernie Blunt. Mac, how genius are we?
This is a great play. You can't lay 10 with Morgan State. We were like, this is like handicapping 101. There's certain teams that should never lay that many points. Morgan State fits that bill. Shout out to the Lakers, not the Los Angeles Lakers, the Mercyhurst Lakers.
The real Lake show.
Where all their starters play.
Yeah. No load management in this program.
And no nepotism.
No nepotism. No, none of that bullshit. But dude, the first Division I win. We'll do our game balls at the end. They will be on the list.
Yes. Bieniek, you're lucky I'm in a good mood because if I had a bad night and but if I had a fire night, so I'm letting you off the hook, pal. All right. But huge win for Mercyhurst. Shout out to the Lakers. And I tried to bring you guys with me on this one. The Scarlet Knights got it done. Even with they didn't even have their whole team. It's okay. Look, Rutgers at the rack is like, I feel like we should normally just take them every time, especially with the mid-majors. Mac, your thoughts? I know you rolled with Wagner. I don't think you bet Wagner, though. You didn't battle on this, right?
Yeah. I stayed away on the bet. And then obviously they were without Ace Bailey. So good win for the young Scarlet Knights. Harper, the young phenom freshman, 20 points in his debut. So shout out to the Rack and Rutgers. Yes,
shout out to it. Bieniek, I think you were with me on this one, right?
Yeah, I was laying the points with Rutgers. I wasn't betting it, and I might have. I don't know. I can't remember if I stuck with that pick after the Bailey news. I can't remember.
Well, my fire night continued because the Campbell Camels went into Charlottesville and covered, lit their own tiki torch over there. Only lost by 9. I think we nailed this. Didn't we say they won't win it outright, but they're going to cover?
60-50.
I think we nailed this saying. I'm actually surprised they got the 65. I said Virginia's only scoring 56 or something like that, or 54. They got to 65, but Campbell got to 56, and we cashed on that. Mac, your thoughts on our Camels galloping into Charlottesville and getting the cover for us?
Yeah, I mean, this was so easy in terms of just like if you've watched Virginia over the years, and we talked about it too. They're going to be an easy fade, I think, without Tony Bennett. I don't know how good they are. And then you take away a Hall of Fame coach. No offense to Ron Sanchez. He's not Tony Bennett. So I would be worried if I was a Virginia fan. I don't think they're very good.
Yeah. I'd be very worried.
Yeah. I said Virginia might, I think I had said like, give me like -12 and then I might flip the pick. But I was on the points with you guys there and pretty much same sentiment. So,
yeah. And then I'm actually mad at this one because I tried to talk. All I needed was a little nudge from you guys. And I'll be honest, today I loaded up a couple extra bets. I had this one actually, you know how you can select it, it appears on the right, and then I deleted it, which makes me very mad because I took UConn and minus the points. I just did not bet it as UConn cruised to a 36-point win against fucking Sacred Hot. Mac, you're the Caravan, 20.7 blocks, 7 assists, I think it was.
Yeah.
Your thought, I guess you don't learn that much because it's fucking Sacred Hot, but still they look really good.
You know what you can learn if you like one of these big favorites, listen to the show. And if you like that side, grab it right there because this went off at 36.5. So if you waited right before tip, you ended up losing it. I know Nick and Michael both took Sacred Heart plus 36.5. So they ended up winning on that side. Cool. But that would be the thing that I would learn from this is if you like a big favorite, they're moving
easy
like
to see a tide turn.
So grab it the night before. But yeah, I didn't learn anything from UConn. They're fucking good.
Yeah, Bieniek, your thoughts on the Huskies?
Yeah, just to add to Mac's point, it's the popular high majors that usually catch a lot of steam with these large spreads. Liam McNeely, the freshman in his debut, double-double, 18 points, 10 rebounds as well. Interesting take from Clark here too. Is talking about Ahmed Newell off the bench for UConn, maybe gunning for Diarra's starting spot at the point guard position. I wouldn't push back against that. Solo Ball looks like a stud too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're probably right. I'd like to see it against better competition, but yeah, you're probably right. Now, Mac, great call on this one. I'm going to play your music here. Lehigh gave the Hoyas a game.
Yeah.
Georgetown wins 85-77. Clark, shout out to Clark in the chat. I know he's a Hoya fan. They were up 5 at half. They ended up winning by 8. But
he tried telling us about their freshman too that went off today.
Yeah. What, Sorber? What are we talking about?
Thomas Sorber.
Yeah. I'm curious though. What were we know the Big East is struggling.
Oh, it's rough.
Do you come away a little impressed with Georgetown, or is this just no? They let Lehigh hang around way too much because we just saw Lehigh against Northwestern. Northwestern just kind of put it on them. Mac.
Well, I will say I am high on Lehigh this year, so I thought that they would bounce back with this veteran group. But yeah, I saw flashes from Georgetown where I think they could be a good team. I think Cooley will get them better and better throughout the year, but they're in that clump of Big East teams that you just scratch your head and you're like, man, what? Like Seton Hall, Providence, Villanova, where you're just trying to figure it out right now.
Yeah. Bieniek, could the Hoyas perhaps? Here's the one thing I'll say is, if the Big East is this down, could there be a team that we're not seeing that can capitalize on the shitty play we've seen throughout the conference thus far? Yeah, but they're kind of, I think, like they were kind of projected. Them and UConn were projected to be.
I think they're
Xavier, maybe. I know they didn't look great, but maybe Xavier can capitalize. Marquette. I don't know. I was thinking like more so the likes of like the cellar, someone in the cellar that we projected, like maybe for the Hoyas for you, maybe DePaul, maybe can one of those teams steal wins because it seems to be more down than it traditionally is.
I just think Georgetown out of any of them, just because we've seen Cooley do it multiple years at Providence, win all those close games. Maybe Georgetown could be that feel good story where they just win a bunch of one possession games.
I honestly think we're just overreacting a little bit after one game. I think the top's still top.
Well, I've never overreacted after one game. Wait, what's this? I did bet Coppin State after they covered for me against Wake Forest. Well, they lost by what? 42 tonight. 42. Yeah. Lost that bet. Cooled off a little bit on Coppin State.
High Point.
Dude, what was his name? Johnston? I think it was Johnston. Yeah. Lit it up. I think he had like 34 points. Yeah. Okay. Bad pick. Normally when a mid-major's getting that many points in a mid-major game, I feel like you're safe with it. But I'm 1-1 with Coppin this year. They cashed me against Wake. Don't panic. But High Point, how should we regard High Point moving forward, Mac?
They're really good. I mean, we had Alan Huss on, and he you could tell he really liked his team and what he did in year one there, winning the league, going away. They're a 25+ win team, easy.
I think, yeah. After watching, I mean, I know it's Coppin, but after watching tonight, I was like, oh.
They have size and they're old.
Yeah.
I just like they're going to be that 13, 14 seed come March, maybe even a 12 that you're like, oh fuck, we drew them.
Yeah, and this team on paper, like from a lot of the guys coming in on paper, didn't shoot it well last season. Today, 14 of 28 from 3, 50% as a team, just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And Rob, we're going to get to that because I'm still furious, even though I'm having a great night. I'm still furious.
It didn't matter for me. Even if that went in, I still had that cover. So.
We are a couple of aces over here. All right. How great was this play? I mean, this is why you tune in. All right. Cal State Northridge was taking on Lemoyne.
How were they favored?
Lemoyne was somehow favored, and Cal State Northridge went up there to Syracuse, New York, and won by 22 points. That was a lock. Wrong team. I believe the exact words I said was wrong team favorite. Boom. Your thoughts, Moneyline Mac?
The wrong team was favored because it went off Northridge -3 right before tip. So a lot of good one for the night before show crew for us. Yeah, Northridge just completely dominated that second half. Northridge, he's doing a good job there in year number 2 out there. I think he's one.
He did a good job in year 1. He did a good job in year 1.
I know what Andy Newman. I think they overachieved last year, and they looked the part again this year.
Yeah. Shout out to Trip Life, Colby in late, but the fucking hospital, Mercyhurst. Yes. Bieniek, your thoughts on Northridge going up against Lemoyne?
I got nothing more to add. That was just an ass kicking.
Yeah. Speaking of ass kickings, this guy, he might have been suspended game 1. And he might have showed up in game 2 and went for 33 and 6. But
good Lord, did he show up?
Someone got fired tonight, folks.
Yeah.
Like,
how does he drop 30 and you still lose by 10 to Columbia?
33, I think it was. And Kyle Neptune, I fought for you, buddy. Last year, not this year, even though I locked you up this past week, today, essentially, earlier today, last night. Columbia, I repeat, Columbia, the Lions, the Ivy League school in Manhattan, trotted on in to Philly and won by double digits against Villanova. Oh,
they led almost wire to wire. For the final 30 minutes, they did not trail.
Yeah.
You know what? This is on Nova. They should have fired him last year. Let's be honest. I mean, I try to say like give the guy a fucking chance. But this solidifies it, right? There's no way. Right? There's no way is there next year.
The only way is if they maybe they're the team that pulls a bunch of Big East games out of their ass and maybe they rally. But other than that, like you can't be losing to the Big Five schools last year the way that they were. They lost to Penn. Who else? They lost to St. Joe's. And I mean, they didn't just lose to Columbia. They got drilled. They got beat by double digits. This is Villanova. Villanova, 2 national championships in the last decade. Hey, Noah, I will say, how about my Columbia top 4 Ivy pick right now? Jim Ankles there. I was thinking about that. I go, oh, man.
They almost lost to the Greyhounds the other night, man.
I know.
That was like a neck and neck game with 2 minutes left. But
it was a look-ahead spot.
That's true. It was.
Hey, Jim Ankles, good for Columbia.
This dumpster's on fire right
Columbia.
now. All the sirens should be going off. You had your best player put up 33 points. You shot at 34.5% from 3, 45% from the field, and you lost by 10 on your own floor, and you gave up 90 fucking points to Columbia. That is terrible.
Yep. Bad.
Yeah.
The fucking Sharks catching a
How
stray.
did LIU get into this fucking show?
Well, I mean, of course they beat them. They're a great team. Notre Dame 89, Stonehill 60. We picked this incorrectly, but we did not bet this. Or at least I didn't bet. Did you bet this, Matt?
No,
I picked this correctly.
no more.
Yeah,
no
you
more
did pick this
graveyard
correctly.
games for a long time.
The
after
Graveyard might be bottom 10, by the way. They might be bottom 10. How about a play on this one? I believe this was a triple lock, or if not double lock, and you agree with us. West Georgia plus 24. Well, we needed all of that because they lost by 23. Shout out to the Wolves of West Georgia coming through for us. Was this a triple lock?
Double, just a double. I just hitched myself to the wagon. I didn't fully jump on.
Yeah. I mean, that was good. And then I'm upset that I did not bet SIU Edwardsville because they gave them a game, dude. I know the final score says 19, but this was like, did you see that little run, like about the 10-minute mark or 14-minute mark, maybe? But they got this thing down to like, what was it, 8, 7, something like that. Yeah, I mean, I should have bet this. I'm disappointed in myself. Your thoughts, Mac?
So yeah, this was the fate of the super team. Mackenzie Mabaku went for what 30, however the hell you pronounce it. He fucking was awesome tonight. 31-9. Indiana still got some concerns. But that was the first game that they all played together. So I think they'll get better as long as Woodson, I guess, gets him to buy in defensively. But Edwardsville's not bad, man. Edwardsville, they're always around 500 under Baroni the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a weird case right now with Indiana. Just like peeling back the entire curtain, they played 2 exhibition/scrimmage games. The one that was televised was against Tennessee, where they won. They looked really good. The other one that was not televised, Mike Woodson split up the roster 6-6. It was the top 6, the starting 5, and then another guy on the bench versus like the second team, the practice squad. And the practice squad only lost by 10. That was quite alarming for this kind of squad. I'm still wait and see mode on Indiana, but the talent's there. They should be better than they are.
Is Noah an Indiana insider? How do you know about the splitting the scrimmage up?
I know.
Twitter.
He's locked in on the Hoosiers. He hates the Hoosiers. I love it.
Folks, before we get to the next game, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all of sports, whether it's NFL, whether it's college football, whether it's college hoops, CFL with the Grey Cup looming over us in 2 weeks, the MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and much more. Get on over there. They got NHL too. So check it all out. Boost Uber's upon us, which means you're getting a spooky amount of profit boost and much, much more. You can now use specials and boost on all flexed entries as well. So what are you doing, folks? Sign up. And when you do sign up with that promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Bieniek, by chance, do we have anything there? You're on mute, brother.
Sorry, I muted myself for your ad read. Yes, I was texted by our good friend Adam Pelletier for the SGPN newsletter. I don't know too much about the newsletter. It always goes to my spam for some reason. But you can sign up for the newsletter, the SGPN newsletter. He asked for one of my underdog picks.
Well, I don't get.
Really selling our product.
I know.
Yeah. Once again, this is our nightly. This is every night we do 2 minutes of Bieniek shitting on our existence and why you should unsubscribe. Continue on, Bieniek.
Sponsors. He shits on our newsletter. He just shits on everything we do.
Ted G says I like Noah better on mute. So Underdog Fantasy at the time at 8:00 today only had one game for Thursday, but they had two for Friday. I didn't prefer any of the looks on the Thursday game. I'm going to take it to Santa Clara on Friday. Get this one before it moves. Adama Alpha Ball for Santa Clara against Arizona State. I'm going to go higher than 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He was great last year, averaged 21 PRA per game, but this season he's going to reach another level, in my opinion. In the game one performance in Sioux Falls, which was a neutral site, this game against Arizona State, also neutral site in Henderson, he recorded 24, 4, and 2. So, of course, that's 30. Surpassed that pretty easily in game one. I think the Broncos have a chance to win outright against Arizona State Friday. So, Ball, I think, might be a big reason why. Go higher than 23.5 points, rebounds, assists.
I like it. Jump on it, folks. That's some of the type of stuff you'll see at Underdog Fantasy. Jump over there. Use that promo code TCESGPN. Like I said, they have everything. You can find an edge you will not find elsewhere, despite what Noah says about our newsletter.
The juice says that's a ringing endorsement, Noah.
Folks, subscribe to our piece of shit newsletter, and it'll look good in your junk mail. All right, folks.
Remember last year when you said there's this many viewers, and Noah goes, no, those don't all count. He's like shitting.
They did it.
We're like, whose side are you on here?
Twitter's algorithm.
So what's the point of the
then.
number?
It's fixed now.
Well, it's not. I fucking work for Twitter? I'm just gonna quote the number.
Being realistic.
Right?
That's just last year. The Twitter numbers counted every
you're the
time
director,
somebody scrolled over the stream. Now we have a.
Let me tell you something, buddy. If you're the director of Jurassic Park and they tell you that it jumped over to North Korea and 100 million North Koreans. It made $100 million in North Korea. You're not going to fact check it. You're just going to say, of course it did. All right. Of course it did.
That's what everybody does with attendance
genius,
numbers
right?
at college football games. It just counts the season ticket holders that don't show up. That's
not
exactly
college football games, Michigan football games.
No. Don't go there. All the way around. It's not just college football. It's like NBA, MLB, NHL.
No. There's a difference. There's a difference because like the NBA, and I can attest, like I used to get like
it just counts the tickets that were sold, not everybody that went through the door.
Well, it's different with college to me than pro sports because pro sports work with corporations. Like I at one point had Staples Center, and I was just a bartender, but the guy put me on like his company's thing of like anything at the Staples Center. If I wanted to go see the fucking motocross, it was sold to a certain law firm, and then okay, you got it. I don't think it's the same in college, but I could be full of shit. But I don't think it's the same in college. I think college is actually like actual human beings, not just corporations just buying gigantic amounts of tickets.
All right.
So when you
It
show up to a
definitely is
Laker
for
game, it's like an
professional
Instagram
sports.
party. Yeah.
It definitely is for professional sports.
Yeah. What are we doing again? We doing
Just
a show?
finish the
Are we
call
live?
to action on the read, and then we'll call
I
it.
already did. I already did the call to action, buddy.
Okay,
All right.
okay. I didn't catch it then. I didn't write down the
okay.
time, so I have to go back and listen.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just another piece of shit episode, Noah. Next up, ULM. You got worked by LSU. We didn't bet this, but I took ULM in the 24, I think it was, or whatever the hell the number was. LSU covered. You guys took LSU. Nice job there with getting that thing done. But none of us
coaches on the hot seat, 1-1 so far on the slate. There was one more, right, that we took. So
yeah. How about our boys down there in Texas A&M Commerce did cover. They didn't get the win. I thought they'd win outright. I thought they were live. Only lost by 8. Of course they covered. Who the fuck is South Dakota, right? Was this triple lock or double?
Triple.
You do all right. Good. Yeah.
You sure?
They blew a double-digit lead, Commerce, and then they went down 15, and then they got it back to 8. So kind of a wild game. By the way, I forget what network it was on. I went to go try and watch it, so I had to legally stream it eventually. They're trying to charge $10 a fucking month to watch South Dakota basketball. What is wrong with these fucking?
Is that Flow Sports?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was Flow. It was something else.
Hold on.
No, it's like MID.
Yes, MID,
like,
whatever. And I'm like,
yeah, it's like is it Micro Sports or is it Midco Sports or something like that?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got you covered. We'll talk off
Midco
there.
Sports
All right.
Plus.
Yeah, Midco Sports Plus. You got to find it, but it's if you need God's eye, we got you covered. We cashed on that. We also cashed on Auburn against Vermont. Couple of square sharps over here, right? 94-43. Fun little story about you beating UAB. Now you come to the jungle. This was just easy. Mac, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the athleticism of UAB followed by the athletes of Auburn in the jungle. Bad combo for Vermont here. 2 games in 3 nights. Auburn, man, I know Noah has been his national championship as the winner. They look pretty damn good. I know it's only 1 game. They got Houston on Saturday, so that's a big test. But they're old, they're fast, and they're fucking good in the jungle.
Hopefully they didn't blow their load today, but the Houston is going to be a great game. Should be a really good test for both teams because I think both teams have some question marks around them at the point guard position. Today for Auburn, I was not thrilled with the point guard position. Everywhere else, this team looks outstanding. So they can shoot it. They're really good on the glass as well. I'm just a little mad that this game wasn't closer for my Broom rebounds because he came off the floor with like 20 minutes and had 7 boards.
Still rolled.
He hooked me.
Moving along, Bieniek cashed a lock battle against us on a very questionable. Rob Donaldson was talking about it. If we can go back to that comment.
I don't know.
It seemed like an obvious goaltend to me. If we're getting 14.5 with Lipscomb,
wouldn't have mattered for me who had 13.5.
Okay, well, on this show, we took it at 14.5. You sandbagging son of a gun.
And I told people the place to go get it at 13.5 on this show.
It was a goaltend. It was a clear goaltend. We should have covered. And I know I had a fire night, so I shouldn't complain, but I will complain because I should have had an even better night. Look, refs, I understand you're going to go home. What's one more goaltending call? But you're a fucking ref. Your job is to cover the game from the beginning to the end. There's nothing more. And I feel like that's a recent thing, by the way. I think that's a recent thing in the past 5 to 10 years because you see it sometimes where the guy will try to intentionally foul to get them to the free throw line with like 4 seconds left. And the ref will just let it go You seen that, Mac? Recently, I feel like over the past couple of years, you'll see it where a guy will try to slap the player, and the ref's like, "There's 3 seconds left. Let it go." And I'm like, "Hey, fuck you, dude. Any other time of the game, that's a foul.
They ref the
Call
score.
it."
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I hate that. I fucking absolutely hate that. And I want an investigation. All right. I want an investigation because this should have hit. Anyway, Mac, your thoughts?
Important topics other than us getting screwed on that goaltend call. What'd you think of Arkansas? Because Lipscomb, I like Lipscomb. I thought that was a solid showing by Arkansas. I thought they looked the part.
I'm high on Arkansas. You guys caught we did the SEC preview. I think I was higher than you two on Arkansas.
You were.
And I feel, it's game one. I don't want to overreact, but John L. Davis, I thought played strong. So I don't want to, it's Lipscomb. We are high on Lipscomb this year. I think we all like Lipscomb this year, but for opening night, John Calipari. Now I will say, hopefully,
and you know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity. Let's go. Now, I met with the team. There is no team.
For having no team, they looked all right. Nice win there.
Saturday.
Yeah. I was quite impressed by the defense. I think they're pretty athletic. And Ivisic looks like a true rim protector. You had a couple of blocks tonight that were pretty impressive going clear across the paint. Arkansas might be better than I expected.
Yeah. It's okay. But I forgot to pull the trigger on I didn't forget to pull the trigger on UConn. I had it loaded and I just backed off. Cowardly, in my opinion, if I had to redo my day. But I didn't back off on this one. I said this might be a lock, and I locked it up. Hopefully you checked our picks page, because I loaded up on those Minnesota Golden Gophers taking on old Bob Roberts, and boom, the Gophers get it done, 80-57. Moneyline Mac was on this very show. Bieniek, you were on this too, right?
Yeah, I laid it with the Gophs, but I didn't bet it.
Well, Garcia went for, I think it was like 32, 28, something like that.
Yep.
Anyway, he had a great night, and Oral Roberts sucks. I look forward to fading them more. But also to Ben Johnson's credit, I feel like he's made the barn a good environment. You agree, Mac?
Yeah. Yeah, I love the barn. Minnesota, I like what Minnesota's good because they got a good home court. Garcia, like you said, 30-8. That's a good night at the office.
Yeah, that's got to be a career high, I think, for him.
I don't know.
He had some monster games last year.
Yeah, the Big Ten's really interesting this year because all the teams that are projected at the bottom of the standings have stars. And I even said this on the Big Ten preview. Like, they all have really nice floors game in, game out because they have guys that are going to go and give them 20 a game. And that could give you a steal of a win in conference anytime. I do think the barn is a little overrated. This was just game one. There's always going to be excitement at the beginning of the season.
This guy got to hammer it every fucking time, dude. I say one good thing. I say one good little thing about them.
It's just overrated. The elevated floor sucks, and it's a hockey arena. It's not a basketball arena.
I agree on the elevated floor thing. What the fuck are we doing here? I didn't come to see a play, right? But you're very negative.
I've had this take the entire time, TVDBJ. The entire time I've been on the show. The
shitty show. Look, if you're gonna say it, every time I've been on this piece of shit show, I've had this take.
The Dunk Mail show.
Like Chrysler's overrated.
I wasn't talking up our home environment though.
Oh boy, folks! I want to tell you the college basketball experience is brought to you by Rhythm. SGPN's proud partner. Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform, and it helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds. and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, props, all that good stuff. You can build your own model, or you could copy one of the top performing leaderboards, and have fun there. I can't talk right now. Or press the build me a model essentially and select what you like. Rhythm gives you predictions for betting on every game and player prop, and also has a slew of stats, research, and trend analysis to give you even more betting insight. And they just launched their college basketball models. Noah Bieniek, I'm not going to ask you because I think you might hate them all, but they're fantastic. All right. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by betUS. Bet with the best in the business. That is betUS. I mean, I don't know if you guys caught our opening night episode when there was like 170 fucking games. I felt like every other sports book was offering like 40, 50, 60 games. Go over to betUS. They're giving you all the action, folks. That's why they're the best in the business. They've been around for more than 30 years. They're quality. All right. They don't cut corners. You can easily deposit using cryptocurrency and get lightning fast payouts. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betUS and sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betUS. Use that promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. Hey, shout out to Michael Huffer giving us $10. Appreciate that. Hell of a good guy. And someone asked before what I was sipping on. I don't know what this is. Sometimes you stumble upon a potion. A potion called Ocean. All right. And it's from Hawaii, apparently. But never had it before. It's not bad. Never. It's a different part of the Pacific Ocean than Venice, where there's those you might see a homeless person taking a shit in the ocean in the middle of it, or giving fellatio to another homeless person. This is the good side of the ocean, in my opinion. All right.
Ocean is my potion.
Gotta love
one of the reggae songs that sometimes hits my Spotify.
Imagine if there's a new.
I just opened it.
If there's a new viewer to the show tonight and they see the Hawaii music playing and you told them to sing right up, breaking it down, talking about shitting in the ocean.
I needed some dry ice in the background. All right, I needed dry ice, so it was just like. But let me tell you, I mean,
Remy
it's
Kim
the good
goes
side.
With the big pot from Fortnite.
It's a good side of the Pacific. I'll just say that. All right. I mean, I love Venice. Don't get me wrong. I love Venice. But it's just a little grimy over there. All right. The most common injury in flag football on the beach there is Hep C. I'll just say that. All right. And I wonder if you're ever wondering how, Magic Johnson might've got it. Just saying. Flag football, Venice Beach, 75% chance. Well, you guys nailed it on this one. Didn't bet this, so I don't really give a shit. But Boise State looked fantastic and scored 87 points against Oakland, who scored 43. We'll talk about Ryan Cockbrenner outscoring Oakland in a minute. But Omar Stanley had a big day. Mac, your thoughts?
Yeah, I love Boise. We all love Boise in our preseason prediction.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like last night. No, I was on Oakland because I just thought Boise phoned it in against these teams sometimes.
Now that elevation, man, Oakland's going through a transition. I mean, they had the special year with all their vets last year. They all transferred or graduated now. And they're kind of just a big name now, coming off that Kentucky win. Boise elevation at home. Yeah, this was never a game. They're up 30 at half.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oakland kind of relies on that matchup zone to keep them in some of these games against the high majors. But it takes some time for especially new pieces to the program, which they've got plenty of them this season, to really get that thing down because it's a unique defense. And also this year, offensively, they ain't it right now. They just ain't it. DQ Cole shot 15 3-pointers today. He went 1 for 15 from deep. Just rough. only three other people.
What's
took
worse?
a
What's worse?
outside of that?
What's worse? Going 1 for 15 for 3, or from 3, or having to eat the actual food at Dairy Queen?
Don't be hating on Dairy Queen.
No. You go to Dairy Queen for like a fucking what's it? A Blizzard. You don't go to Dairy Queen for like the hot dog that they offer. What do you, Bieniek?
No, I don't. I'm just like,
you got me all confused over here. I never thought anyone defended Dairy Queen's food.
The DQ Cole performance was worse than the Dairy Queen food.
I disagree. I think he got one in. And okay. Dairy Queen food has never won one for me. Mac, I'm curious where you're at on this topic.
Yeah, I'm not a big Dairy Queen food guy. I like their Blizzard.
No, the Blizzard is fire. Yeah. Blizzard, especially if you partake in herbal essence. The Blizzard might just be the greatest fucking thing of all time. But
we've got speaking of Jameson Williams, Colby from Alabama. He puts Blizzards on burgers. And he eats the Blizzard burger. I'm like, what in the world is wrong with this?
And I can
guy?
tell he's from Alabama. And I can tell he's from fucking Alabama. All right.
And you can tell why he's been suspended 3 times in his NFL career. Yes.
Well, I'm not going to judge him on those. I'm not going to judge him on those actions. I'll judge him on his Dairy Queen, patterns.
It's the decision,
but
and that's a weird decision to be making, and you can question him on some decision making.
I'll never forget. Like 15 years ago, I was friends with this girl, and she's like, "Hey, let's go to Montana." Right? We go to Montana. She's like, "Hey, this is a great restaurant." Right? And she took me to a Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen. Fucking Dairy Queen.
That's the last time
unbelievable.
Listened to her.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what? I was like, this, I thought they were fucking with me. Anyway.
Jeff Sharp
if you go to Dairy Queen for food,
Jeff Sharp says Dairy Queen chili better than Skyline.
That is an interesting one. I'm going to side with Skyline. I've never had the Dairy Queen chili, but I just feel like on general principle, you can't order the chili at Dairy Queen. They're good for cold shit, not hot. All right. I don't know. The Mexicans, they're known for hot shit, like making me some cash. All right. They gave Creighton all they could handle, despite Cockbrenner going for 49 on 11. Folks, you guys took Creighton.
Yeah. If you told me Cockbrenner was gonna have 49, I'd be like, oh, we're gonna cover easy. That's kind of concerning that they struggled pulling away from the Mexicans when he had 49. So chat's on fire right now.
Chat is a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Hop on over there. Subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe button.
I guess I don't remember who I took last night. I thought I was on the Mexicans. I thought I said there was too many points, but
Daquan killing it here. He goes, I took my girlfriend to an exclusive member-only dinner at Sam's Club Pizza. Wait, but you don't have to flash the card, do you? I feel like that's outside, or is that Costco? I'm thinking of.
No, Costco. You gotta do it outside before you even get into the building.
No, but the Costco's I go to out in Cali, they are out like the food court is outside, so you don't have to flash the card. You flash the card to get in the Costco. It's different in Michigan.
Yeah,
right?
In Michigan, we don't have good weather for 4 seasons, so it's not outside.
Yeah, well, that's a big deal. That's a big difference. I understand. Then she must have been super impressed when you flashed that card, because security gets on you a little bit there.
Do you remember? Now that we're talking about flashing Costco cards, that was a great video clip from like 3 years ago, where the kid that's working the game who's on the floor shows the girl in the front row of the student section his Costco card, and she's like that was a great video clip.
I don't remember that, but I can buy into it. You got to send me that one after the show.
Floats around every once in a while.
Where are you guys at with Creighton?
I need to see them with Pop Isaacs. I think they're good still. I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to overreact to them because I've seen their sample size with Greg McDermott. They're going to be a good regular season team. Hopefully they can get it done in March this year. We'll see though.
Yeah. I would go as far as say, like, even with Pop Isaacs, I don't know if I'm fully bought in. I need to see him with Zugic, their stud 21-year-old freshman from Europe.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but the Mexicans just 2-0 ATS on UT Rio Grande so far this season, folks. Mac, a couple nights ago, you might remember, someone was shitting on us for taking Eastern Washington, and we doubled down on them against Seattle. I sprinkled the money line, and boom. 93-86. Seattle's a different team away from the crack house. And the Eagles are flying high like they always do. I mean, this is a great night. It's a great night. Your thoughts on E-Dub just sticking it to the in-state rivals there?
Good for Dan Munson. I mean, they played well at Colorado the other night. They just, the wheels fell off in the second half. So they controlled this game, I think, wire to wire. They were up 16-5. So maybe E-Dub, the culture continues to win and win here.
Bieniek, you rode with us on this?
Yes, I did. I didn't call for the money line, but I thought it was a little. I don't like taking Seattle away from the crack house, so I usually fade them when they're outside of there.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed that I did not bet this next game, but I was certainly on it, and I was asking you guys to help. Just send me over the edge here. But you guys folded, all right, on this horrible podcast, all right.
You're gonna be even more pissed when you found out I actually bet it tonight.
Yeah, you filthy fucking whore. Utah State 101, Alcorn State 46. Good
Murder.
God, why did I not bet this? I just needed a little bit of a push. I was like, this is. You guys were like, oh, I'm not locking this up.
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
That's on me for not giving it out on the show. But if you check the picks page or the graphic I tweet out, I had them in there. After the show, I'm like, why did I not lock that on the show? They're going to fuck them up. And they were down like 2 early, and then they went on a 31-0 run.
That building, that
31-0
happens.
nuts.
That's like a normal thing in that building, by the way.
Yep.
It is.
My lemon of the night was I really thought Western Illinois was better and should have been favored against Pepperdine. But I will say Malibu, you get out there, fake tits are all around, you just, it's Malibu. You're like, this is where they filmed Baywatch. You know what I mean? And then you start thinking about the Hoff. Next thing you know, there's a game you got to play. And that's probably what happened here for the Leathernecks, because Pepperdine won 77-64. And and they kind of won it or let it almost wire to wire. I feel like, Bieniek, your thoughts on? I know you would. The reason why I'm going to you is that we felt like this one. I think we talked even pre-episode of like we're cashing on Western Illinois today.
Yeah, I went to you guys for extra confirmation because I looked at this thing on the cocktail napkin. I was like, that looks off, and then I took a deeper dive, and I was like, you know what? I do think the wrong team's favored. You guys agreed. We all went in head first, and we dove head first into a kiddie pool, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's kind of my explanation for that. They never really competed to win this game outright. They snuck back in it in the second half, and they were unable to close this thing severely and help us cover. But yeah, this was interesting as well because the line movement did not favor us either. So,
yeah.
Bad pick.
Mac, your thoughts on the waves of Pepperdine riding them on in Utah? Give me 2.
Yeah, maybe the boys from Western Illinois, they got a little too much sun today before the game because they kind of got their ass kicked.
that old vitamin D will get you. All right? Yeah,
they're like, oh man, I haven't seen the sun in the state of Illinois for fucking 3 months. God damn, it's nice out here in California. And, yeah, they got their ass kicked. Pepperdine was a better team.
Yeah. We did cash on UC San Diego, the Triton keyboards, getting it done. Only losing by 5 to the Aztecs. For a second, I thought they might win this. They had the lead at one point in this game. But down the stretch, I guess I was doing the show, so I didn't see all of it. But I know Miles Bird did end up playing, by the way. Shout out to Miles Bird, who I asked a great question at Mountain West Media Day. Well, actually, no, it wasn't even me. It was the person in front of me who was just about to leave. And he goes, last question. And he goes, what NBA players do you model your game after? And Miles Bird goes, I don't fuck with the NBA. I love college. My dad's a college coach. He goes, I don't know. I don't fuck with the NBA.
Damn, he froze during a good story.
I know.
Yeah. What happened?
You froze for 5 seconds. You said, I don't fuck
Where
with
did I
the
leave
NBA,
off?
and
Where did I leave off?
I don't fuck with
Yeah.
the NBA.
Well, anyway. Yeah. His dad was a college coach, and he's like, I don't watch it. I don't like the NBA. And I was like, this guy's fantastic. Right? I need to fucking stick a microphone in his face more often. But we cashed on this. I mean, the Aztecs got it done. It's little brother. These games are, what was it, like a 1-point game a season ago? So, kind of expected. I thought that was the handicap, right? It was just it's little brother. And UC San Diego's a decent team. Mac, your thoughts on this game?
I was going to say, I like the UC San Diego team. I like what I've seen from them over the last couple of years. Last year was a tight game, and this year, I mean, San Diego State's got a lot of new faces. They're trying to find their identity. They're going to be good defensively eventually, and play that brand of basketball. But right now, I still think they're trying to find themselves. But good, hey, they won. I mean, they found a way to win.
Should we pay, like last year? They beat them by 1 at the buzzer. I think it was who was it? Lamont Parrish. I don't remember who hit the game winner. But do we panic at all? I kind of thought the Aztecs, were confident at Mountain West Media Days. So much that I think I took a future on them to win the Mountain West. But
I mean, they're not 100% right now. Reese Waters didn't play; he's out. And yeah, there's just new pieces here. If you're gonna catch them, better catch them early.
Well, they're gonna be caught here in a little bit because their next 4 games after Occidental, whatever the hell that is, Gonzaga.
That's Obama's college, by the way.
Occidental.
Yeah, it's like a block from SGPN Studios. I used to like them before COVID happened, and they got rid of their football program that had been there for 100 years. You fucking cowards! You absolute cowards!
All right, so we'll lay the points with San Diego State against Occidental.
I knew that was coming.
You can see us on cut. You can see us on cut for that game.
Yeah, that was an auto lock right from Max.
No doubt. Lay it. But after that, dude, Gonzaga, Creighton, Oregon, A&M. Woo, man, it's about to get real for these Aztecs. That's all before the end of December 1st.
They're going to catch one of those. They're going to catch one of those teams. I bet you they catch one of those teams.
Yep.
Game balls.
First I want to update the good people that Ryder is up. The moving company's up 1 against our guy Steve Lavin in San Diego, 41-40. 14 minutes still left in this game. So I didn't bet that game. I should have because I was making so much money. I just forgot. But game balls. Yeah, let's get to them. Mac, I'll let you. I went first last time. I don't want to steal your thunder. You go first this time.
I already gave it out, baby. The Lakers, not the Los Angeles Lakers, the real Lakers. No load management here. Mercyhurst, Division 1 win number 1.
No nepotism either.
Yes.
Bieniek, where are you going with your first game ball?
Columbia, big time win at Villanova. Game ball.
I mean, you got to. That had to be. If you're going Mercyhurst 1, that had to be 2. I just feel like good play. Third game ball. This is interesting to me. I'm just going to go with Dan Munson and Eastern Washington because they were 7.5 point dogs. I didn't understand it, but this is his first win back in that region of the country as a head coach. And yeah, let's go. Anytime you beat in-state, that's you got that forever. You go into Seattle, you say fuck you, pull a Diego Pavia, piss on their middle court, right? And yeah, give it up for Dan Munson. Mac, back to you.
I'll go to one that we all ate shit on. I'll go Ed Schilling's first win at Pepperdine. They looked good today, so Pepperdine game ball for me.
I like it. Bieniek, where you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull a Patty C here, where he always gave like a game ball to Virginia after their football team would pull off a win when they were favored by like 15 or whatever. I'm gonna go with Auburn. They beat the living hell out of Vermont today. There was no fight left in the second half. That was very, very impressive after what Vermont did to UAB. So I entering the day, I thought that was one of the better games that we were going to see, and it was over in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I feel. It's actually hard to find the last one. I'm just going to go ahead and say, you're like 3,000 miles away from home. Northridge, the Matadors. I mean, what the hell are you doing in upstate New York? You know what I mean? Like, you're taking on Lemoyne. Who? What? You know what I mean? Like, no one on Cal Northridge knows what the fuck a Lemoyne is. But they showed up.
I don't know what a Lemoyne is either.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like I'm talking about World War II, but they showed up and they did their part. They did their job. All right. To provide freedom for all those people in Northridge, California. And they got that dub 97-75, and they weren't even favored. All right. So it was either that or Rutgers for me. Because I don't know that they'll get another game ball the whole season. So give me Northridge. That far away from home, enemy territory, beyond enemy lines. Yeah, I think it's a good win.
I agree.
That's our show. That's our. I like to play in Wayne's World. That's what made me think of that. But what are we looking at here? Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's get to these games, folks.
It's like the second time Colby's had a reaction. We're like, "Oh yeah, I made slides."
It's true. I was having such fun relishing in my earnings that I was like, "Well, yeah, we still have to pick games." Bob Morris is heading to Delaware to take on these Blue Hens. Delaware's laying 6.5. I'm locking up Delaware. They're not going 0-2 at home in Newark. Lay the 6.5 with these Hens. Look at that. Stare deep into those Hens' eyes and tell me they're going to lose. I dare you. All right. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'll join you. They led Bucknell the other night for 30 plus minutes, and then Bucknell stole it. I think Delaware's actually pretty good. I think they put it on and win by double digits.
The locks are flowing already. Bieniek.
Yes, they are. This is a triple lock, boys.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh shit! Let me get that music loaded up somewhere here.
What the fuck did I do wrong?
That's not it.
Now we got a problem. Now we got a problem.
Here we go. Triple lock.
So yeah, you guys touched on why you should back Delaware. I guess I'll mention. I just haven't liked where the Robert Morris program has been trending lately. The last few years, honestly, ever since they transitioned into the Horizon League, just Andy Toole hasn't been able to figure the thing out. They've got a couple of transfers that are expected to start here, 3 or 4 of them, along with Justice Williams. I just think this is a one-man team going on the road to a Delaware team looking for a win. And I think they get it done by more than 2 possessions.
Let's go. Move it along. Stony Brook is up in your territory, Noah Bieniek there. Perhaps
Yes,
the
sir.
LeBaron will make a trip to Mount Pleasant for this game. But yeah, Stony Brook is heading to Mount Pleasant to take on Central Michigan. The fuck is that? Yeah, Stony Brook.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
The Seawolves are catching 3.5 at Central Michigan. Bieniek, you kind of sold me on Central Michigan after that strong performance down there in Mobile.
Yeah.
I'm going to lay the 3.5. No lock. Mac?
I'm going to take Stony Brook here. I think Stony Brook is going to be right there to win this game. I'm not going to overreact just because Central Michigan won a game at South Alabama. They come home feeling themselves. Give me Stony Brook.
Muhammad's got a point. 217 people in here on YouTube and only 54 likes. You know, there's a lot of pieces of shit out there on planet Earth. You know what I mean? Like, now what's it like? It doesn't take much, folks, to hit the like button. I know you're already listening to the show. How could you call your listeners a piece of shit? Because it doesn't take much to hit the like button. Right? Like, I mean, we're not trying to steal your money. We're, if anything, we're giving you money. All right?
Yeah.
And we're warning you. What's that?
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, we're warning you that this is a shitty podcast. Continue, Bieniek.
I'm gonna go and lay it with the CMU. And a reason why I am doing it with Central here in the last two games, honestly, is just the first time I just remembered they went south into South Florida last year and they pulled off a win. So I was like, I'm not gonna get caught by that again. But Anthony Pritchard didn't have like the greatest game in game one, but like this is their star. Like he's a 6'2" senior who came back from the transfer portal. He didn't go anywhere. He was in it, but he comes back. Put up 13 points, 5 boards, 5 assists last season. He does it all. Last game, he didn't have the greatest offensive game. Only goes 1 for 6 from 3, but he has 6 steals. He can impact the game in many different ways. I'm going to lay the points. I think they get this one by more than 2 possessions.
Let's go. Are you going to this, Bieniek?
Nah, it's probably. I'm not going to say it's too far for this slate, but I don't feel like going to catch.
How far is Mount Pleasant?
2 hours. I've got some buddies up there. They're seniors though, so I could go.
Why don't you go huff paint in the parking lot and catch the game?
They don't have paint. There's a casino right there on campus, so that's where.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Soaring Eagle Casino.
That is perfect. I need to go to Mount Pleasant then.
18 and up. Too,
all right, let's continue on. Really?
Yeah.
So the people are definitely huffing paint in the parking lot because they can't get a cocktail inside. But Charleston Southern is heading to Jacksonville, Florida to take on the Ospreys, the Darlings, the team that took down Lamont Paris and the big, bad, mighty SEC. But Greg Sankey saying we need 96 teams so teams like South Carolina can get in there, even though the Ospreys go into their place and beat the tar out of them. North Florida's laying 6.5 against this wannabe bullshit. I'm just going to go ahead and say, this is the biggest bullshit logo of a pirate out there. I mean, you got ECU, you got Seton Hall. Seton Hall's guy looks a little questionable, but this guy? He's wearing like it just does. It's not good. This to me is lazy. They were like, hey, make it like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a popular movie right now. Hey, go out and draw that logo like Johnny Depp. It's lame to me. It's lame. You don't find that lame?
No,
I don't think
it's not as good. It's definitely not as good as the ETSU one. The ETSU one's good.
Yes,
I like ECU's too, but it's not as good as ECU's.
You got to look grimy. This dude's way too clean cut for a fucking pirate. Okay, you put the iPad on.
They could have just went with a letter. I at least give them credit for trying to draw out a logo. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like bullshit to me, and I'm seeing through it. North Florida, the hangover could happen here. No, I think they're actually good. I'm laying the 6.5. Mac, what are you doing here?
Oh, I blocked Charleston Southern. They're off the bye game win. 20-point dog. Come back at home, laying 6.5. Too many points. Charleston Southern plus 6.5. I think this might be a sprinkle the money line.
Money line Mac is lock it up. These bullshit pirates, these phony pirates. This is like when you go to Disneyland and you see the guy dressed as a pirate and you're like, oh, fuck you, dude. You know what I mean? He wants like $20 for a photo. And it's like, dude, you realize I could dress like a fucking pirate with my son? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a real thing. If you go to Disneyland, it's the biggest robbery in America, by the way. All right. And your son might get ate by a fucking alligator if you follow that story in Orlando. All right. But it's all how you look. It's all how you look at it, because you could sue them for millions after. You got a value. Is 10 million worth your son? It's a question we all must ask ourselves. Do you want to be super rich for having your son ate by an alligator? All right. And what you can eat you can go anywhere you want in Disneyland at any time. But Disneyland's a horrible place. So not only will you sue them and they'll give you all their money, which is great, but then they say you can come here free anytime. And you're like, that's horrible. No, I never want to be there. Even when it's free, it's fucking horrible.
Oh, that place, you're absolutely right. Disney World, Disneyland, both those places suck ass. It's expensive.
Dude, I'll be honest.
Yeah, terrible.
I'll be honest. Like if the terrorists marked that place, I would be like, all right, let's go. Right? You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, okay, I mean, it would suck if the children and everything, but I mean, like, it's one of the shittier places in America. I'll go Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen food is better than Disneyland, in my opinion. And I haven't seen the new Star Wars thing.
You guys are haters. You guys are haters. I'm going to push back on the Disney slander here.
It's like $100 to park, Noah. All right.
Yeah, I know it's an expensive ratchet, but it's an experience. Everybody's got to go once.
Fucking Noah wants to go meet Mickey fucking Mouse over there.
Yeah. Rob says, Colby said, fuck them kids.
let me guess. That means you're back in Charleston Southern, this phony pirate.
I am locking it up too. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction in the market here with North Florida. Yeah, they looked impressive against South Carolina on night one. South Carolina's got a lot of new pieces. Same with North Florida. I give them credit for pulling off that W, but this is a little bit of a letdown spot after pulling off the high major win. Charleston Southern's got a lot of continuity under Sod Nimley, who was the interim last year. He was able to keep the roster around coming into this year. And they ran into a Clemson team that I like a lot more than South Carolina. I think this is just a little bit too many points. The cocktail napkin has this thing set at +1.5. I'm going to bet it. So Charleston Southern, take the points. Lock it.
Double locks for these cowards. Bullshit. Next thing you know, they're going to tell me Disney's Star Wars is better backed by Disney. Just disgusting.
Star Wars is kind of repeating the story.
Well, Disney ruined it, man.
How'd they ruin it? Just the story seems to be repeating. 7, 8, 9 is the beginning of.
They went too kiddie. Like Star Wars like kids liked the old school Star Wars back in the 70s. Right? They liked it. I was one of them. But
yeah,
after that, they didn't. Well, but back then they weren't catering to the kid. It was cool for kids. Disney bought it, and they catered to the kid. And I love Carl fucking Weathers. May he rest in peace. But come on, everything is so obvious. It's like deer in a cage. It's like, oh great, now he's gonna save the fucking little green guy, right? I don't know. We could do hours.
Not even Star Wars. That's like their side.
That's Star Wars. That's fucking series. Star Wars. Well, it's still Star Wars, buddy.
They're milking the cow with those series.
Disney is milking the cow.
I literally
Disney
said 7, 8,
is
9.
milking the cow.
What? And you blame them? Why? People like to watch the story on TV and television.
I blame them because it's shitty art. It's shitty art. It's shitty art. All right.
It's actually much.
It's like
better
Tobin
than
Anderson. It's like Tobin Anderson's directing all of their shit. Bieniek.
So many.
All right.
It's so much cleaner though, in my opinion. And you might hate that because it's so glossy.
Cleaner. What are we talking about here?
There's so many like animations and graphics in Star Wars with all the lights and the bullets and
that's what you're basing the fucking story on being good?
No. Can we move on? We're going in circles, please.
Chad, are we going in circles? I think I'm getting to the This guy is just a CGI nerd. He's just like, oh, they make it look clean. It's a good fucking movie based on that, right?
The technology's gotten so much better.
Doesn't mean the story's gotten so much worse. All right,
It's the
you used to
same
have the
stories
right.
from the comic books for the most part.
No. They don't save it. It's not that ridiculous. Disney makes it the same shit every time. All right.
So if George Lucas was creating these, you'd still be shitting on it because they're not changing the story too much.
Yeah, well, George Lucas actually he did 3 shitty movies in the early 2000s that were Star Wars. Now the originals he wasn't directing because he's a shitty director. Oh, did I say it? Donate some more money to Long Beach State. Bring back their football program, George Lucas. How you doing? What are we talking about here? Let's move along.
I tried moving along 2 minutes ago.
North Carolina A&T, Terrell Furman's alma mater, is heading to Winston-Salem, North Carolina to take on Wake Forest. Wake Forest lay 24.5. I will lay it.
Yeah. Sorry, Terrell. Lay it.
Yeah. A&T.
Yeah.
They've been a nightmare lately. Bieniek?
I mean, I have no conviction either side of this. I'm actually
don't
going to
worry.
take the points.
But don't worry. The court will look nice.
Especially when it gets stormed.
Yeah.
Wake's gonna storm against NCA&T.
You with Wake?
Yeah, I think Monte Ross did a nice job last year with all the injuries they had. I think this is just too many points. Wake Forest, I don't know if they're all the way there yet. They're catching a lot of hype.
Wow. All right. Maryland Eastern Shore. This is just like their 7th game of the season. We're on night 3. Maryland Eastern Shore is heading to Penn to take on the Quakers. Penn's laying 17.5. You know, I hate laying 17.5 with an Ivy League school. I think we got to. I'm laying
That's a commandment of yours from a couple years ago.
I don't like doing that. When you have a lot of staples, it is tricky. It's very tricky. Like anything above 10, you should question everything. Do not bet this game. Do not bet this game. All right. They are the far less athletic team. I don't care how bad Maryland Eastern Shore is. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'll take the points. Penn did not look good the other night. They trailed for a majority of the game. So I'm not going to lay 17.5. I am not betting this game.
Bieniek?
Maryland Eastern Shore looked good the other night against Vanderbilt too. I don't know.
No, they both look like shit.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the less shit team and Penn, lay the points, and I think they win by 18 or 19.
Yeah, I don't feel good about. Don't bet that game. Southern Miss is taking on the Blazers at UAB. This is an interesting one. Southern Miss, we hit on game 1. We lost on UAB. 13.5 is a big number for kind of a regional game here.
Mac, I don't know if I was picking this up during the Sun Belt show, but I think you tweeted it out. You actually like the Southern Miss team this year?
No. I said that they're a wild card because Curbelo's there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. No, I never said I like them.
Okay.
The whole state of Mississippi is starved. But Curbelo got his money.
Yeah.
Fucking horrible. But I'll take the points. All right. Crime pays. Give me Southern Miss plus 13.5. What are you doing here, Mac?
I'll give that a lock. I'm locking UAB. They're bounced back. They had a shit night the other night. They're going to put it on Southern Miss and pull away and win by 20.
Wow.
Talented team. Back-to-back home game. They're going to make it statement.
The chalk. A lot of chalk.
Chalk rules early, baby.
Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I want to be high on UAB, and I thought I was going to have the cocktail napkin have a nice edge here because naturally I thought the market would have been a little bit lower on UAB after they lost the home game to Vermont. But cocktail napkin's really sharp already, I guess. It drilled this number right on at 13.5. So I might have to go in and adjust it because I want to be higher on UAB. I'm going to lay the points with the Blazers, but I'll stay away from a bet for now. Check the picks page.
All right. Moving forward. Oh, the hospital part 2. The Detroit Mercy is heading into Chicago. And taking on the Ramblers. See, the Ramblers, in my opinion, they're kind of like UVA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
We said this the other night. Loyola played too.
Yeah. So when you tell me that Mark Montgomery is coming in there, Detroit Mercy's new head coach, Mike Davis,
by the way,
Penny Hardaway,
Montgomery and Valentine are friends. They're buddies. Michigan State.
Oh, so that's a cover.
Yes.
20 and a half. Lock. I will. Loyola minus 20 and a half. They score like 47 points a game. Let's go. Cam Crutwig ain't walking through that door. Mac?
I'll join you because, like you said, they're friends. I don't think he's going to run it up on him in his first game. Let's go. Detroit, back in the hospital.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go. Everyone will be on Loyola because Detroit was so bad last year. They had the longest losing streak. Detroit's going to cover. Loyola by 14.
Yeah. I'm going to take Detroit.
The
only thing that nerves me is this is basically Eastern Michigan's roster from last year without Tyson Acuff, and he was their best player. Like Orlando Lovejoy is going to be
my Eagles.
Orlando Lovejoy is the point guard. Legend Jeter's in the front court. The piece to watch for Detroit, and he didn't play at all basically last year. He redshirted, which was interesting. But this was the crown jewel of the transfer portal class last year under Mike Davis. Alex Chiku, the 5-man. He's a 6'11", fifth-year guy now. He was a former Alabama recruit. Like, this guy was highly thought of. If he plays well after a year of not, there could be some rust there. I don't know. Detroit could be feisty this year, but I'm gonna prefer to watch a game or two before I back them.
Colby, we're gonna take 22.5. There's a 22.5 out there. So
22.5. We're taking that because I haven't bet this yet, but I will right after this show. And let's go. Noah, have you been to the what is that place called in Detroit? Is it the Lafayette Coney Dog place? Have you been there?
Right? 100%.
Fire, right?
Yeah, that's legendary.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So, where do you put that against Dairy Queen?
Oh, no.
It blows it out of the water.
I love how we're the ones locking up Detroit. This is your hometown team, buddy.
I know. Come on.
It might be a situation where I'm just too close to the crime scene.
Okay.
Too close to the hospital.
All right.
He's emotional. He's emotional from last year's 29 game.
That was scarring. And I was telling you, don't check yourself in the hospital. You're only asking for
almost beat Ole Miss
care.
1 point loss at Ole Miss,
and that fucked you up for the rest of the season.
I'll tell you what fucked us up was they covered like the first 3 games in a row to start league play, and then they never covered again until Valentine's Day when an old love story happened and they beat IUPUI.
Incredible.
Maybe the best love story of them all. One fan rushed the court.
Yes.
I will say he's now playing for West Virginia, but Jaden Stone missed a couple of games last year, and that also threw us out of the loop on Detroit last year. So
he's already hurt for W2.
The juice is.
Are you kidding?
The juice is asking you, Noah, what's the hot dog spot the Greek dude started in Detroit? Now, I've been to Detroit a few times. I feel like every spot is Greek at a certain point, but
then we have a little Greek town.
It's the same spot I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, that's Lafayette.
Yeah, it's been there forever. You go there, they got fucking.
It's a little hole in the wall too. It's like right in the corner of the middle of downtown.
Yeah, everybody that's ever been in Detroit, famous.
There's another one called American Coney Island. There's 2 of them in downtown Detroit that are really popular.
Literally, Sparky Anderson's up on the fucking wall. Everyone but Ty Cobb because he was racist as shit. You put him on the wall, it's a problem. But everyone else is there on the wall. You know what I mean? I'm sure Eminem. Everyone else,
For our demographic, the American Coney Island, the same chain, same brand, it's actually in Vegas on the old strip, Fremont Street. Owner of Circa, God damn it, why am I? Derek Stevens. He's from Michigan. Guy. He's from Michigan, and everything in the Circa and the D, it's all Michigan related. Inside the D is American Coney Island, so. yeah, if you wanted to go try it without going into the inner city of Detroit, that's the spot.
True. And what's Saginaw is upstairs is fire.
Yeah, Saginaw's, and also
Saginaw's,
also Amdiamo's is the steakhouse. So,
oh, Trevor's telling me that Ty Cobb wasn't a racist at all. The writer just had it out for him. Well, maybe Ty Cobb fucked his wife. I don't know. Either way, I'm just gonna go ahead and say he was racist because he lived in 1920. All right. I'm just gonna all of a sudden assume.
1920.
Yeah. Well, and he grew up in Georgia. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Please, don't try to sell me that. Don't try to sell me that. Whoever just tweeted that or put that in the comment section.
The juice goes. Didn't the owner of Circa give Noah money to get a lady of the night in Vegas?
He did.
Well, technically, he told me to go to the table. Yeah, he told me to go to the table. And
that's how smart people launder their money. You know what I mean?
Because then it sucks you in, and then you're playing with more.
What the hell are we talking about? Let's jump on over to Milwaukee. The Panthers.
It's a great game.
Are heading into Cedar. This is probably my favorite game. This is my favorite game of all these ones. And I got a lock. Bart Lundy's
Rob
covering
Donaldson
this.
asks if I went to the table. It was not cash outable. You could only go to the table and use it. You couldn't go to the window and cash out with it. Sorry, Colby.
No, you're okay. Explain yourself. But we're back to the piece of shit podcast. Look, Milwaukee is covering 5.5 in Cedar Falls. My guy Bart Lundy. Anyone named Bart? Actually, no, that's not true. It's not true. I retract my statement. Forgot I got blacklisted from all the comedy clubs in El Paso by a guy named Bart. So anyway, maybe I should take Northern Iowa. Actually, maybe that's an omen. No, I'm still on Milwaukee plus 5.5. Mac, what are you doing here?
I was just checking real quick. So they did not play last year. So this is the first leg, I think, of a home and home. I will join you. I'll lock up Milwaukee. I think this is a one-possession game. I can see Milwaukee winning outright. I love their roster this year.
I think this is a year they turn the corner. Let's go.
Yep.
Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I'm going to lay the points. No bet for me, though. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Northern Iowa barely covers.
All right. Florida A&M's heading to SMU, better known as Saudi Arabia Tech. Florida A&M's getting 27.5. I forget the name of the stadium, but I'll lay it. What's the name of the stadium again? I don't know. So something built on the Desert Storm.
Oh, the Moody Coliseum?
Yeah, there we go. I'll lay the 27.5 because I think SMU is going. You know what? I could be swayed into a lock here.
They just got drilled by TCU by 60. So body bag game. They're beat up. I think SMU absolutely houses them by 40. Lay it, lock it. Chalk City.
Right, let's go. And I like this logo here of their horse, like putting on a fucking t-shirt or something. You know what I mean? I like Florida A&M's logo too because it's like I said, the SWAC can do no wrong. All right. Black people are cooler. It's just that simple. I was thinking about this as I was driving through the city. Dude, you go to like Des Moines, it's fucking boring. That's what happens when you give white people a city for a long time, right? You go to New Orleans, it's fucking awesome. Every corner is awesome. There's something to it. Bieniek, what are you doing here? And do you agree with my Des Moines take?
I'm going to lay it. I have no idea what we're talking about Des Moines. So I checked out.
Okay.
Another podcast.
Yeah. The shitty podcast continues to roll on.
And don't forget to check
fantastic.
out that newsletter.
Don't let white people don't give only white people a city. It'll be fucking horrible. Everyone will be square dancing. All right. You gotta fuse it with something else. I'm telling you, it'll be fucking horrible if you just let white people have it. Moving along.
Colby, I think we should tell everybody to get SMU right now because I think it'll go above 30. I bet that'll be one of those ones that moves like crazy.
I'm gonna play that music again to reiterate. Betting it now. Let's go.
I thought you were playing the music for the slide that you just changed because this is a money line play right here.
Oh, here he goes.
On Montana State, the logo is quite scary in my opinion. I do enjoy it. All right. Wisconsin's like Virginia, so it's like, yeah, give me the 14.5. All right. This is a have they played before? I'm curious. Mac, what are you doing here?
It's also Montana State's first game. I'm gonna lay it. I thought Wisconsin kind of got their scare out of the way the other night with how shitty they were in the first half. I'll lay it with the Badgers.
Bieniek?
I'm gonna take the points and lock it. I think they win on the money line. I'm gonna sprinkle some on that as well. Montana State, really good offensively. They're gonna chuck up a lot of threes here. And I think this is a team that's not going to be rattled by the Kohl Center. This is one of those games that Montana State's going to be circling on their schedule. Also, their first game of the year. They've been preparing for Wisconsin for weeks now. And I think Logie's a great coach. This team was playing their best ball down the stretch last season in February and March. They win the Big Sky tournament. They go to the NCAA tournament. I think this team this program has a lot of momentum under Logie. He continued what Danny Sprinkle had going over there. I just think they're going to chuck up some threes. And this is a team with some variance that if they make those threes, Wisconsin does not have the offense to pull away in this game. So I think that Montana State's going to cover, and I think they've got a great chance to win this thing.
Isn't it Logie?
Logie.
I think it's Logie?
Yeah. I think it's Logie. Don't you do Montana radio?
I do.
Right? Do they say Logie?
He doesn't do basketball though. FCS radio.
Oh,
they normally hit. No, they do. They for March Madness they hit me, but Montana State, I don't think they've been in there with Logie. I think it was what's his name? Sprinkle.
Shout out to Greg Peterson's podcast. I'll give him a shout out here because he actually had a Big Sky preview out in like July, and it was Montana State's radio voice who was on that show, and he was saying,
"I know who that is. That is my guy. I'm drawing a blank. I'm being a horrible.
I thought you were doing radio with.
I'm being a horrible host right now because I can't remember the guy's name right now.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, please, if you can. And he's cool. He's a hell of a good human being, and I'm drawing a blank on his name right now.
I got you. I'm locking this up and moneyline play.
Yeah.
Kevin? Are you talking about Kevin?
No, but Kevin's the man too. He does Montana football.
Yeah.
Anyway, but why can't I think of his name right now?
Rob says you're a horrible friend.
Potentially.
Blame it on CTE.
Yeah, exactly. Who the hell what the hell is his name? Anyway,
I'm trying to pull it up, but it's taking too long.
I love this promotion. Check out Montana Radio. Let's be honest. You only get like 3 stations anyway. Check out Montana Radio. I'm on one of those stations. All right. I don't know if it's 89.4. I look, like about 7 times a year, Montana Radio calls me, and I talk Montana football and occasionally, actually, in March Madness. Never really anything else. They don't hit me for Montana State or Montana regular season. But check out Montana Radio. They got this thing. You turn it on, you can hear shit from all over different parts of Montana. It's fantastic. I still feel like the average person listens to a Montana football game on the radio. So anyway, do that. And Bieniek is locking up Montana State. And carry on. Next up, Prairie View is catching 15.5 against DePaul.
Parker Cotton of the Bozeman Chronicle
No,
and he does radio there.
That's not who I'm thinking of.
All right.
But yeah, that's not who I'm thinking of. I'll see what I can do here. Prairie View is getting 15.5. I'll take the points. I don't know here. Prairie View. God, I don't know. I like this could be the one where Holtman turns it on. Actually, the more I think about it, I'm laying the 15.5. Mac, what are you doing? No, Prairie View's decent though, right?
No, they just gave up 90 to Biblical Studies. Who the fuck's that?
Well, they run it. They got a nice, you know.
They run a nice cha-cha-cha.
Hey, bold. I'm locking DePaul minus 15.5. Never say those words again.
That is a little wild, buddy. That is like that's.
They're gonna pour it on.
I like to be wild. I'll huff paint in the parking lot, but this one is a step too far. All right, I will side with you though. I think DePaul minus 15.5 is the correct side, but man, to lock it is a power play. But Moneyline Max says, "I'm done with your shit, Dundee. Lock it up. Give me these Blue Demons, and watch out for that Biblical Study half-court trap." Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Won 111-90 against Biblical Studies. Yeah, they had
someone's got to tell me where's that located?
Biblical Studies. I had no idea. They had 3 guys drop 24 plus, 5 guys in double digits in this game. They shot at 72%.
Breaking down the box score over there.
Holy shit. I didn't even know that was possible.
Who are you picking?
Yeah. Oh, I'm already moving.
I'm laying it with DePaul. I thought I already said that. Sorry.
Colby just said, fuck it.
Yeah. Let's go. Well, it's a shitty podcast. So
Biblical Studies is in Houston, Texas.
Of course it is. Do they keep the doors locked like Joel Osteen where there's a goddamn hurricane going on? You're taking all these poor people's money. There's a hurricane. And you just, doors are locked. So I'm up here on floor 18, just hanging out, watching TV, sitting in my bubble bath. All right. Oh, you guys are trying to get in? I'm sorry, but we'll take donations. Anyway, Omaha's getting 4.5 at Stetson. I actually struggle with this one. I struggle with this one.
I did too.
I'm gonna go with the Hatters minus 4.5. No way am I locking this thing. Half of my handicap is on the logo. I'm not bullshitting you here. It's just it's an interesting character that you will never see in Florida, at least from my experiences. Mac, what are you doing here?
I took the points. The Hatters are young, but I have no strong conviction in this game.
This kind of character you'd see on a boat in Florida, just kind of.
Nah, but you know where a cowboy hat on a boat, one of those fan boats. You ever been on one of those fan boats?
Like, if you're a swamp boater, yeah, I think you might. But I'm gonna go with Donnie Jones and Stetson. I just think this is a program culture play. They're in a little bit of a rebuild season. Omaha is not supposed to be good this year, based on my research for the Summit League preview. So Stetson at home, better program. I'll lay it.
Mac, what was the term he said the other night on surfing?
Wakeboarding. It's a completely different thing.
Yeah, than fan boating. You fan it out. They're just fanning it out down there in Stetson.
What was the synonym to volume that he used the other night?
Voluminous. It's the same word.
He's fucking first show of the year. He goes voluminous. Like within his first 3 picks, I go.
You guys are making fun of me for like correct things that I'm saying.
You got those new glasses. He got those new glasses and he picked up a thesaurus and was like, "Hey, Mom, look at me." Anyway. Don't bet this game. Do not bet this game. But I'll take Stetson. Yeah, but I'll take Stetson, and if it hits, I'll talk shit about it tomorrow. Jacksonville is heading to Gainesville. Take on the Gators. Isn't Mincy a former Gator assistant?
Yeah, with Mike White. Remember,
Yeah,
Dusty
no
May
way.
went into Gainesville and got it done 2 years ago.
Golden was a completely outside of the family hire.
Oh man, part of me says like Florida's going to kill him, but then I think of that angle. But Jacksonville's like UVA. I've seen. I went and caught a game with a Jacksonville game a couple years ago. They literally they play great defense, but they can't score in a gym by themselves. I'm going to lay the 20.5. Mac.
I'm going to take the points, but it's hard going against Florida in these games just because of how explosive they can be offensively. But I'll take the 20.5.
Yeah, I'm going to lay it with Florida.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. I'm gonna lay it with the Gators. I think all things considered, South Florida looked incredible. They were playing with heavy hearts in that first game. They won the first half, but Florida looked super good in the second half. And I think that's like the Florida team that we're going to see for a lot of this season. I don't know if Jacksonville will be able to stay in the same gym with the Gators. I'm hoping as a fan they won't be able to. So I'm going to lay it.
Noah, did Florida invent Gatorade or was that a hoax? Because I've heard this. No, I mean, but you mentioned that in Oklahoma, you'll get a beer bottle on your fucking dome.
Oklahoma or Nebraska? I thought Nebraska.
I've heard both. No, I've heard both.
Okay. No, 100% Florida did.
Interesting.
The name Gatorade is the Florida name, and then
it doesn't mean that they still could have stolen it. You act like nothing got stolen in the history of this country.
Well, Florida was the smarter ones, and they decided to market it, and they did a great thing by marketing it. You called it Gatorade. It sold. It became popular, and then you just have haters, and there's people that claim that they did it first. You're always going to have that.
It's true. That's why it's hard to decipher. Yeah. I'm interested in hearing both stories. If anyone out there knows the true stories, please
write a book.
I don't even know the true story. I'm just saying Florida did it first.
Oh, he didn't even know.
Wow. You're just claiming it because you're a Florida fan. You don't even fucking know the history.
It's called Gatorade.
Oh, he did it first.
It's called Gatorade. And I know the first flavor was the lemon lime flavor, the yellow flavor, whatever.
You remember they used to have the gum. Anyone know where to get the Gatorade gum? Is that still a thing?
I don't know. They turned it into chews, and then the chews have gone
It was
away.
actually horrible fucking gum, but if anyone can find it, I will gladly pay for it. Just because I haven't seen it in 20 years or 30 years or 40 years.
In my opinion, the chews and the gum, they had like 1 second of flavor, and that was it. They were
it was absolutely horrible fucking gum, but I want some. It's kind of like this podcast. Absolutely horrible fucking podcast.
Colby chewing
please
gum
subscribe and hit that like button as well.
Colby fucking opened a pack of old baseball cards during the Pac-12 baseball preview and ate a stale stick of gum.
That's true. And I did go out of my way to buy a bunch of Big League Chew recently. Just true story.
You're getting your kids started early.
True story. Had to do that. Southern is taking on Iowa there. Southern's logo, complete fire. Once again, go back to my point before. Absolutely correct. Am I? Yes. Please, 5-star rating. Bieniek, I hit on Commerce against Iowa. Game 1. This is where you take Iowa. I will lay the 24.5 and I will lock it up. Let's go. Mac, coming?
I was looking at it. So Southern was at South Dakota the other night. Yeah, I'll join you. These second legs of the bye game.
Let's go. Do we have a triple lock?
No.
We have?
My pick's Iowa, but I'm not betting this. I think Southern's a really good team in the SWAC. I don't know if that's going to translate here at Iowa, but I'm not going to bet against the Jags.
Niagara Falls is heading to East Lansing, Michigan. They're catching 27.5.
That's a lot of points.
Give me the points. Come on, Greg Paulus. I hate putting my money behind a former Duke player, but did you ever follow that 70s on sports or that Super 70s sports on Twitter? Fantastic. They had a great Danny Ferry post the other day. Go check it out. Another Duke player. But I think it's just a little too much for me. I don't feel good about this one though. But give me Niagara. Mac?
Yeah, Niagara's a completely new team. First game, and Sparty has Kansas on deck, so I'll take the points as well.
Bieniek?
Yeah, this is a look-ahead game to the Champions Classic. I'm going to take the points. I don't think Niagara is really going to pose a threat here. I'm just waiting for the actual spot for me to actually fade Michigan State because I don't know about this team this year. I want to see them play. I want to see them play a real opponent, which honestly, Izzo didn't have the greatest schedule out of conference. There's been quite a couple of people say this in the media lately, and I was like, they're actually kind of right. Izzo didn't schedule tremendously this season.
Hold on. Back it up. Back it up. Go to Austin's comment. This is not more impressive than Travis Hunter. I get it. You're playing two sports. It's not like Paulus was a good quarterback. You know, anyone could play quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get it. He played D1 football and basketball.
Deion Sanders is more impressive than Travis Hunter.
I don't know, dude. Travis Hunter is. You see how many?
The hardest Deion never played that in sports is hit a baseball.
Oh, God, here we go.
What Deion was doing in the NFL in the World Series, like playing at 1:00 in the NFL, then playing at the World Series that night. That'll never be done again. That was fucking badass.
That's true. But Travis Hunter, the amount of snaps he's playing on offense and defense is some shit that hasn't happened since fucking Sammy Ball. It hasn't happened in fucking 100 years. All right.
It's a basketball show, but since it's come up, if you had a vote, are you voting Ashton Jeanty or Travis Hunter?
No, by far. I mean, Ashton Jeanty is amazing, but Travis Hunter, like, I actually think it is not being talked about enough. What he's doing, it's not talked about enough. Now, Deion and in Colorado, you can say that. Okay, early in the year they get all this hype. You know, the year before they get all this hype, sure. But what Travis Hunter is doing is like you can't even like people will say, well, he's doing what Champ Bailey and Charles Woodson did. They got like. Charles Woodson got like 4 snaps a game on offense. It's not fucking comparable. It's not comparable. He should be by far the number one. And Ashton Jeanty's a baller. Any other year, I feel like he would deserve it. But this is something that we haven't seen since fucking Sammy Ball. So I would say by far, Travis Hunter should walk away with this. I'm not jaded by my love. If fucking Travis Hunter played for Florida State, I would say the same fucking thing. Anyone that plays that many snaps and is that dominant on both sides of the field deserves the Heisman Trophy. Talk to me.
All right. What's the next game?
You guys, I want to know your guys' take. You can't ask me that question.
I think it should be the Heisman. Yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, I was watching San Diego just completely shit down their leg. They missed like 79 layups at the end of the game to lose by 1.
You know me. I'm more of a TMZ guy when it comes to football. I think the pure numbers that Jeanty's putting up are like incredible.
He is incredible. Like he really is incredible, but we've seen that before at the running back spot. Like we have not seen like, especially
but when you go back, amount of quarterbacks that have been taken, there has been a wide receiver in the last few years. Like give it to the
but there hasn't been a wide receiver defensive back. What are you talking about? Charles Woodson, but he played like 2 snaps.
If you're talking wide receiver defensive back, sure. And yeah, that's what he's known for. But
he's a shutdown corner and the team's leading wideout.
All right. Basketball. I shouldn't have asked.
I mean, it's insane to me. It's honestly insane to me. It shows the hate for Colorado.
And just go for 5 minutes.
It just shows the hate for Colorado because it's like this guy. I don't care what team he's playing for. He's doing things. It should be like the front of every fucking paper because it's absurd. Sammy Ball did it, but remember, there was no money in football at the time. So like you weren't getting every great athlete in football. You are now, and he's doing this. It's ridiculous. Don't get me started. Because we are just getting started. If you think that was long, no, I could do a deep dive on that. Bucknell is heading to Evansville. Southern Indiana is a home dog. I'm so curious. As I was building these slides, I said, Mac, what are you doing here? I'm all over the Screaming Eagles.
The only thing I don't like is that they just played an emotional dream crusher overtime game. But I think I got to take the points here at home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm with you. I'm with the Screaming Eagles. Bucknell, nice win though against Delaware. I ate shit on them. Yeah. I could lock this. I could be talked into a lock here.
I don't love the spot for pretty much exactly what Mac is saying. Plus, I also like Bucknell. There's not a lot of holes for me to poke in Bucknell this season as well. So the cocktail napkin has Southern Indiana +1, but that's just because Southern Indiana compared to Ken Pom in the market seems a little bit more underrated. But the spot is just too scary for me to jump on this. So I'm just going to take the points with the Screaming Eagles. They might even win it. I'll pick it on the money line for Tally Site, but no bet.
Fringe, check the picks page. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I love my
scream with those Eagles. Scream with those Eagles. Let's go. Moving along. Illinois State is taking on North Dakota State. This is a conference game in football. Basketball is a little different. And North Dakota State, by the way, might be heading. Why would the Mountain West only add North Dakota State football? Their basketball program's solid. What are they doing? North Dakota State's laying 3.5. Give me Illinois State to win this thing outright. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm going to bet Illinois State.
Let's lock this. Let's lock this. Yeah.
They got embarrassed the other night. Wrong team favorite.
This is the play. Illinois State money line. Let's go. Bieniek, you coming?
This is a triple lock. Yeah. Cocktail Napkin has the wrong team favored in this one. Just seems like a little bit more, again, kind of like an overreaction to game one where Illinois State didn't look great against UT Martin. I think that's more of, I think the Skyhawks might be pretty legit under Jeremy Schulman this season. So, I think Illinois State might be a little bit more understandable for that game one, whereas North Dakota State just beat up on Jamestown, and we don't know what we're getting out of the Bison. So, yeah, lock it. Wrong team favorite.
Is John Smith at the point guard spot? Let's go. Triple lock on Illinois State. All right. Jacksonville State is heading to Colorado Springs, take on the Falcons of Air Force. Air Force coming off a tough loss in North Alabama. Give me the Falcons -1.5. Mac, what are you doing here?
This is another lock for me. Air Force should not be favored ever. Jack State.
Another one of Mac's boys going into.
I knew he was doing this. I knew he was doing this.
Cool. I took Cool Hold the other night. I'm taking Ray Harper this time. Get Air Force out of here, man. They suck.
No, this is the game. This is the game.
Jack State's winning this shit.
I'm actually going to take the points with Jack State too. I'm not locking it.
Max locking up his boy in Jacksonville State. They do have better athletes. I'm just reluctant. Yeah, look, I just hung out with Air Force's team in Vegas, so
Rob
I'm not betting this game.
Mac hates America for betting against Air Force twice.
They're the weakest out of the three.
Idaho State's taking on USC. USC's laying 24.5. Idaho State almost beat Arizona State.
Idaho State's logo. This is a downgrade.
I like to switch it up, buddy. All right. Like to switch it up. It is a downgrade. I would agree, but still you got to put it there. I will. I'm going to lay it, but no lock. Mac.
I'm gonna lay it too. I think Idaho State, they just played last night. Now they're going over to USC. I think they gave it all they had last night. Came up short. So yeah, lay it with the Trojans.
Bieniek?
I'm actually going to take the points here. I still don't know what we're getting out of USC. Chattanooga the other night played without 3 starters, all of them in the front court. They did have their 2 best players, Honor Huff and Dre Bonham, but they were without 3 starters. USC, Des Claude only put up 9 points. St. Thomas only put up 9 points. Those are the 2 best players on this roster everybody was talking about in the preseason here, and I just did not see what I was sold. So I'm afraid they might have been selling me down a river. And that's why I wasn't too high on USC in the preseason. I'm going to take the points with the Bengals.
Cal Poly is heading into Berkeley to drop acid. 16 and a half.
Interesting one.
Cal's laying 16 and a half. We'll lock up Cal Poly plus 16 and a half. One thing I can tell you, and I'm high on Cal this year. Cal football, Cal basketball, Cal track, whatever. They don't have the killer instinct.
Yeah.
Cal Poly's gonna stay in that game enough. Cal wins by 14, by 12, by 10, maybe even by 16. But we're getting that cover. Mac, what are you doing here?
I will join you. I like Cal Poly here. I like the George. I think they're going to hang in this thing.
Double block for the Mustangs. Bieniek?
I think I just caught Mac Benedicting on the exact same angle that he used like 1 or 2 games ago. Like Cal Poly might have just been in a heartbreaker game against San Francisco. They fought him all the way to the end. I do like Mike DeGeorge, but one day layover into this Cal game, it's really interesting. I think it's a lot of points. I'm going to take the points, but I'm not betting it. And I've said it on the last couple of shows. I think Mike DeGeorge is a very, very good coach, and he brought over 4 really good players from Colorado Mesa who were a really good program at the D2 level. So I'll take the points, but I'm not betting this. I think it's a really interesting game.
I don't view the situations though the same because I think Arizona State at a Big 12 school is a lot more of a get-up spot than at San Francisco, at WCC team.
Yeah, but San Francisco has been a really good program. Like, sure, Cal ACC program, Pac-12 program, whatever.
Legendary ACC program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too much. Like Cal's been shit recently in basketball. San Francisco's honestly been in the better program.
Since Quanzo Martin, at least. Chattanooga's heading to Moraga, California to take St. Mary's. They're getting 14 and a half. I'm going to lock up Chattanooga plus 14 and a half. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna stay away in this game. I think I'll take the points with Chattanooga, but to Noah's point, it seems like they're banged up.
Bieniek?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the points as well. I don't think St. Mary's is a team that you're looking to lay 15 points in their second game of the season, but I think Chattanooga is just a little too nicked up for this one, missing 3 starters. This is the rumor, so. Who knows if that's actually their 3 other better players that would be the starting 5, but they're missing 3 players due to injury. So they're seeming to milk of that on the rumor trail.
All right, moving forward, we got Central Arkansas heading to Salt Lake City to take on the Utes. Utah's laying 26 and a half. I will lay it. You can talk me into a lock here, Mac. What are you doing here, Mac?
I mean, Central Arkansas looked so bad the other night. Utah, like they're saying in that elevation, are they better the second game?
I don't know. This just seems like sloppy seconds from Utah after their Holy War rival.
Let's go. Let's just lock Utah.
Let's do it.
They're gonna fuck it.
Lock up the Utes minus 26 and a half. Let's go. Austin said Central Arkansas looked like a D3 squad.
Yeah.
Bieniek, you joining us?
I'm going to chalk it up to more of, I think BYU's that good. I think there's a noticeable gap this season between the Cougars and the Utes when they're not going to be on the same court, when the rivalry carries it, and it'll be a close game in some home environments. But I'm going to take the points. I think this is a little too much for a Utah team that lost basically everybody from last season.
UC Davis is heading to Moscow, Idaho. Where you've been to Moscow's a fun little town if you get out there. Davis laid 4.5 against these Vandals that were they did improve last year. I'll say that they were a little chippy last year. Yeah. Davis laid 4.5, just had a strong performance. Why do I feel like Davis is like my first thought was lock up Davis. Then I thought about it and I was like, is this a trap spot? It's a trap spot here, right? They had the big game now against Cal. Now they're taking on these Vandals with that fire ass logo there. I'm going to take Davis because I do believe they're better. Just not going to bet it like I thought I was going to. What are you doing here, Mac?
I'm locking up the Vandals. I love the spot.
The line reeks, right? It just reeks. Yeah.
Home dog. I'm home dogging it here. Second road game in as many in 3 days, and now they're laying points. Idaho, baby, let's go.
Bieniek?
Yeah, this is another spot where it was like UC Davis was in the entire game against Washington. Now they're going to head over to Idaho. This is my potato program, so I'm going to back Idaho too, but no bet. Cocktail Napkins got this one +1 for what it's worth, but not too much to like so far.
Should we bet Idaho? All right, Mac, let's do it.
Go.
The line doesn't make any sense to me. Yep. Let's go. Give me the Vandals. I'm Benedicting. Give me some more of this Ocean Potion vodka. Let's go. Folks,
Cocktail Napkin agrees that the line might be off in favor of Idaho. Huffer's saying that the line is moving in Idaho's direction. So, yeah.
All right, folks, that's our show. Top plays of the night is a great question. I would say, Mac, you got your top plays ready? Because I definitely don't.
That's a good question.
I kind of think Illinois State's one of them. Give me Illinois State as one of them. Give me Delaware as another. Delaware, Illinois State. And the third one is tough. And Iowa. Delaware. Jesus. Delaware, Illinois State, and Iowa. Mac, what are you doing here?
It feels like Chalk City tomorrow night. SMU laying that big number. I think they're going to kill them. Florida A&M, that is. I think Iowa's going to absolutely roll, and then I think Utah's absolutely going to roll the streak.
Yeah. Bieniek, where are you at here?
Montana State +14.5, +750 on the money line.
You're using that twice?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Half unit on the money line, full unit on the spread. That's the game tomorrow.
When we get Colby back, all I did was I just faded the HBCUs again. Dude, their schedules are brutal. Like the more and more you look at it,
Max just hating.
No. Let's talk about this because it is like it's kind of a rigged system against them from the start. Like I understand they need the money, but if we're trying to do the sport, like I get it, everyone's in charge of their own athletic department, but no one else plays schedules like that. Like what was it? Like Mississippi Valley State played like they played their first home game on like fucking January 24th.
Chicago State played a world tour.
That's what I'm saying. No one, like, it is insane. And I feel like there's got to be a better, like, I don't know how to correct that, but I definitely think you can't compare that resume to teams in other conferences.
Some people are asking if Mac is a racist.
This is exactly the problem with society, Colby. You fucking give out good picks, fucking fade the HBCUs, and now you're racist. You're fucking winning all these games. How'd the fucking Big 12 do? They went like 9-1.
Yeah.
These big numbers. Hey, man.
Kenneth is saying,
weren't you employed? Aren't you good friends and weren't you employed by Frank Martin for a while? Let me guess. The chat thinks he's white.
Yeah.
His name is Frank Martin. Anyway, folks, that's our show. Give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. Noah Bieniek on Twitter at NoahB77_. Give us a follow or not. Not going to lose any sleep on this, but yeah, if you want to follow away. But hit that like and subscribe button. All right. Hit that like and subscribe button. Frank Martin is definitely not Italian.
Cuban.
Yes. Cuban. I do believe isn't his wife black too? I believe his wife's black too, right?
Anya?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's black.
Yes. Yeah. All right. You know, look.
Everybody's racist.
Yeah. Jeez.
2024.
Yeah. That's Patty C is notorious for opening up a line and be like, let me get racist. And he's like, no Samoans ever won a national championship in football. And I'm like, that's actually not racist at all. That's just an accurate statement. You're not racist at all, Patty C.
What about Tua?
Yeah, he said. What did he say about Tua again? I remember that.
The coach, I think.
Yeah. And
he was talking about coaching. Okay.
Yeah.
Patty C doesn't that's the problem in 2024. No one understands the definition of racism. You know what I mean? It's fucking hilarious. You made an observation that happened to be accurate. All right. It's like saying, hey, this is Pick Dundee. He's got to have shit credit. Yeah, that's accurate. You know what I mean? Let's go. All right, folks, youtube.com/the college experience. Hit that like and subscribe button. Get yourself some Ocean Potion vodka. And yeah, can't wait to see you tomorrow night. Till next time, this is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here. Love that one.
Yeah, it's got me thinking about the good shit the minute that I seen your grill again. It made me good trip, good dog the mind back like dog, but why that? Man, I didn't get mad when you near me hit the can back, but the comings on was strong. Now my shit's coming along, you know the song. The truth is I'm pretty much on 5 again. It's heating up and I'm alive again. And that's the attraction factor. Vancouver, Michigan with rap disaster. Yeah, you know you want it how you want it. No need to trip cause I got it, doggone it. It's all yours and the extras too. All the super music and the sex for hope. Just get it straight cause you caught me in a good mood. Let me demonstrate what this time of year could do. Yeah, sing it. It's gotta go.